Good evening. My name is Craig Henry, and I'm the principal of the 1112 House. It is my privilege to welcome you to the 42nd commencement exercises of Southern Regional High School. I would like to begin by thanking the Southern Regional Concert Band led by Mr. Michael Longdo for the earlier music selections, and I would also like to thank Mr. Kevin Moninghoff and the Select Symphonic Band for leading Pomp and Circumstance while the graduates were entering the stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise for the flag salute and remain standing for the national anthem and the invocation. Class of 1999, will you please rise? Gentlemen of the class of 1999, will you please remove your hats? The Southern Regional High School Junior ROTC Color Guard will post the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please join Catherine Scholl, treasurer of the class of 1999, in the flag salute. Catherine will be attending East Stroudsburg University and studying communications or business.
Please join me today in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening, the national anthem will be sung by the senior members of the vocal ensemble. Jennifer Baker will attend Ocean County College. Kristen Bohr will attend New York University. Anthony Kane will attend Westchester University. Melissa Dambrowski will attend Bentley College. Sean Dion will attend Rowan University. Meredith King is undecided at this time. Dominique Perry will attend Widener University. And Brian Tramontano will attend Montclair State University.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well done. Good job. Michael Sharkey Clancy Taylor, Secretary of the Class of 1999, will deliver the invocation. Michael will be attending Dickinson College and major in business. Michael will also be playing football for Dickinson. That comes after this.
Mr. Arndt, Mr. Henry, Mr. Chrisbergs, members of the Board of Education, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Good evening. Tonight, the last class of the century celebrates their graduation from high school. After taking a look around, you can see the anticipation in students' faces, joy in parents' eyes, pride in facilitators' expressions, and confidence in administrators' postures. The community has gathered here for an event that is so unexplainably special to each and every student. For 12 years, students of the class of 1999 have spent 9 months of each year in a classroom, but not anymore. For 12 years, students have woken Monday through Friday at the same time to get ready for a long day of school, but not any longer. The class of 1999 has reached their climax. Every student anticipates graduation from high school, and we were no different. We have worked for 4 long years in order to be here today, and finally, here we are. Many individuals see graduation as sad or even depressing because each student takes their own path from here. Graduation is not a sad thing at all. It is a day where one challenge in our lives is overcome, and it is now time to approach our next challenge with motivation and confidence, whether it is college or a new job. Life is full of many beginnings and endings, and high school is no different. Like they say, all good things come to an end. Fortunately, our good thing came to an end like everything else, but we saved the best for last. After tonight, each and every one of us steps into the real world with the option of being a success or a failure. I am confident that this group of students will succeed with their work ethic and willpower, which will cause them to step up as the leaders of our world in the future. High school has come to an end, but our lives have just begun. Life is long and prosperous if you take advantage of it. We have all completed a very important part of our lives, and now it is time to take what we have learned into the world and make a difference. Good luck to everyone, and God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please be seated? Gentlemen of the class of 1999, will you please replace your hats? Members of the class of 1999, will you please be seated? Members of the clergy, community leaders, School Superintendent Mr. Arndt, Board of Education President Mr. Palmer, members of the Board of Education, faculty, parents, guests, and friends, welcome. During the course of one's life, certain things happen at particular points in time that become defining moments. My experiences this year have become such an event. The privilege of working with this outstanding faculty to serve and contribute towards the development of these extraordinary young people has far surpassed anything I imagined was possible. I have seen the future, and it is good. That future sits behind me. It is full of enthusiasm, kindness, and compassion. It is diverse and respectful of the power that lies in diversity. It is a future that knows how to work together, help one another, and stick together. It is a future that forges ahead in the face of adversity, yet reaches back, making sure that everyone has cleared the obstacle. It is a future that understands the importance of intellectual development, but will not be divided by superficial stratifications. It is a future that knows the true meaning of service, and one that will be selfless in spite of being surrounded by a climate of selfish. It is a future that will not tolerate loneliness, hunger, indignation, and other insults to humanity that previous generations have ignored. It is a future that knows no limits, and one that will not accept status quo. That future sits behind me, and I am excited for all of us as they go forward, each in her and his own way, affecting the world. Shakespeare in Romeo and Juliet wrote, "Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say goodnight till it be morrow. Although this evening I bid goodnight and farewell to this extraordinary group, you shall, each of you, forever live on in my memories. I am richer and wiser for having known you. The future is yours. I am excited for you and glad for all of us. Thank you. Participating in this evening's commencement exercises are 4 representatives of the class of 1999. At this time, I would like to introduce Krista Spellman, president of the class of 1999. Krista was accepted to Marymount Manhattan College in New York, but will pursue a career in dance and theater.
Mr. Arndt, Mr. Henry, Mr. Chrisbergs, ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Education, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Well, we did it. 12 years, 2,160 school days, an immeasurable number of hours of sweat, labor, and tears have gotten us to a place where we can say today, hey world, here we come. We started off as freshmen, a little naive to the ways of the high school, but still pretty confident because we were the big shots of the middle school. We started fundraising and participating in things like the lip sync and the freshman picnic. The outrageous turnout of these activities was only a prelude to the future. Then sophomore year came and we moved on to another school where we were introduced to bigger lockers and the big scary seniors. With this year came Almost Anything Goes and Powder Puff football, both of which we took home the trophy, and the ever-popular concession stand. You could always tell who the sophomores were because we were the ones covered head to toe in cotton candy. Next, junior year rolled around and we were faced with the big C word, college. Suddenly, your guidance counselor became your new best friend, and permission slips were not filled out for field trips, but for college fairs. Days were spent thinking about if we really could turn our gym into New York City's Times Square for our junior prom. I still have nightmares about big yellow foam taxis and that giant King Kong. But we pulled it together, like we always have done in the past, and we made it the night that we won't forget. Lastly, junior year was spent wondering if we really could get away with parking our cars in the school lot and avoiding Mr. Gorney's dreaded orange sticker. We didn't. Finally, we came to senior year. We were given a beautiful new building and a new sense of leadership. With the help and guidance of our new principal, Mr. Henry, we were able to become role models for the underclassmen. We had to set the example, and I must say, this class was more than willing to do it. Senior Service Day, 400 students came out to donate their time to our community. 200 of them went on our senior trip to Florida, and 635 people attended our senior prom, and never once did a problem arise. The class of 99 conducted themselves with maturity, respect, and class. The same thing they had always done since 9th grade. Although the class of 99 should be commended for their effort, all these things could not have been done without the help of 2 very special people, our advisors, Mrs. Polillo and Mr. McCabe. They have spent countless hours making sure that every activity we did and participate in would run as smoothly as possible. They could be seen cooking hot dogs, making prom stars, filling machines, selling prom bids, counting money, or just helping out a student in some small way. They have done so much work behind the scenes, and never once did they complain. Well, maybe just McCabe. We couldn't have found 2 more caring or influential people if we looked from here to the moon. They aren't just our advisors, but our friends. They have given us not only some of the greatest memories, but very special relationships. They have become the backbone of this class and the glue that keeps us together. Thank you both from the bottom of my heart. So, we stand here for the last time together, and I couldn't have asked for better company. You all should be commended on your great achievements, but most importantly, for being the most caring class to ever pass through Southern Regional. The thing that I love the most about this class is the fact that we really are like family. Every day I see someone putting the feelings of another in front of their own. Look around at the faces sitting next to you. How many do you see that have helped you out with a problem or were just there when you needed a smile. Probably too many to count. Think back to the senior trip and how great we felt when we came home because of the sense of togetherness that we all shared. Barriers were broken and new friends were made, complete with many more cherished memories. So, to everyone, thank you so much for your time, patience, cheerful attitude, dedication, and most importantly, your friendships. We are the last class of the millennium. We are the future. And I'm certain that we will go out into the world and do great things. I wish everyone the best of luck and the brightest possible futures. And thank you for being a very special part of my heart and giving me a lifetime of memories. The class of 1999. They really did save the best for last.
It is my net pleasure to now introduce Mr. Yanni Chrisbergs, principal of the 910 House. Mr. Chrisbergs will announce and introduce the valedictorian and salutatorian.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Before making these very honored introductions, I would like to take this opportunity to personally congratulate 1999. As the first class from this expanded facility, you represent the fantastic growth of our school district, and you are the first recipients of this wonderful gift of increased opportunity provided by the communities we serve. As you have been endorsed and blessed here, I pray that you are continually blessed in all of your future endeavors. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 1999, Lisa Durr.
Mr. Arndt, Mr. Henry, Mr. Chrisbergs, ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Education, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Tonight marks the commencement of the class of the 1999. Commencement is not an ending, but a beginning. A beginning that will lead us to far-off places and destinations. And while this evening promotes a look at the future, I want to take a moment to remember the past. William A. Ward once said, "Adversity causes some men to break, others to break records." In the year of Littleton, Colorado, the class of 1999 has faced amazing adversity. With news of the tragedy, adults all over the nation and throughout the world lost faith. They called us the leaders of the future, with disgust in their eyes and shame in their hearts. They wondered where it could have all gone wrong and asked why. I don't know. I didn't know then, and I don't know now. But I do know this. You will never look back on this class sitting behind me and ask the question why with shame. Throughout the last 2 months, we have worked hard to prove ourselves, not to you, but to the rest of the world. We refuse to be broken, and we refuse to quit. And I must say, we've finally made it. But not only has the class of 1999 faced adversity as a whole, but as individuals as well. Each of us has had our own obstacles to overcome. For some, it was handling a full load of homework as well as sports or an after-school job. For others, more personal matters. In my own life, I've had to deal with the effects of multiple sclerosis on my mom. It was so easy to become discouraged, to just lie down and let life pass. But watching my mom, I knew that I had to go on, because adversity causes some to break records. I would also like to share with you this evening a poem by Wisconsin high school student Allison Mary Forbes entitled, "No Matter What Happens." I remember a time when each day was long,
when the world was a playground and my life a song. And I fluttered through years with barely a care, ignoring the future and what waited there. School was intriguing and filled with delights. I played away daytimes and dreamed away nights. My parents assured me that I had nothing to fear, and that no matter what happened, they'd always be there. Little I knew of a world outside home, where tragedy, sorrow, and murder could roam. All I saw were blue skies, rainbows and stars. I looked past destruction of buildings and cars. As a child, my biggest concern was just me. I had to be happy, I had to be free. And if I was content, I would not shed a tear. And no matter what happened, I would still be here. But as I grow up, darkness starts to set in. My bright world has turned into concrete and tin. I now see the violence I looked past before. My friends start to die, and my heart hits the floor. Deadly diseases claim people I love. There are landfills below me, pollution above. I often think back to when life was a game, but no matter what happens, it can't be the same. There are days when I just want to break down and howl, to give up completely, to throw in the towel. But I hold my head high, and I push my way through, because no matter what happens, I have so much to give and too much to do. And I'll make a vow that, though it'll be hard, I'll go on with a smile and play every card. I'll give all I can, help others and love. No matter what happens, life will bloom again, and the strength I don't have will come from above. So come take my hand, and through darkness we will sail. If we all join together, we never can fail. We'll remember to care, remember to feel, and no matter what happens, our world we will heal. And now I ask you, the class of 1999, to join with me in promising that no matter what happens, we will give all we can, help others in love, and all join together, because our world we can heal. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Lisa will be attending Ursinus College in the fall, pursuing pre-med studies with both majors in chemistry and biology. It is now my pleasure to introduce the salutatorian of the class of 1999, Lauren Erickson. Lauren will be attending Colgate University and is presently deciding whether to pursue pre-med or pre-law.
Mr. Arndt, Mr. Henry, Mr. Chrisbergs, members of the Board of Education, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? These lyrics from the popular Broadway show Rent remind me of how many minutes we have shared at Southern Regional High School, how many friendships were built, lunches eaten, sports events played. I think of how many minutes were spent with teachers, slaving over math problems and essays. How many of their 525,600 minutes were devoted to our growth? They have been more than teachers of mathematics, biology, and world history. They have been true givers. The model of unselfish living that the teachers and administrators of this school have demonstrated to the class of 1999 has made all the difference. It has been said that this class, our class, is unique. We are unique because our role models are unique. As children, we emulate what we see. Today, as I scan the faces of my classmates, I see the images of Mr. Ron, Mrs. Toomey, Mr. Laird, Mrs. Fulkerson, Mr. Henry, and all of our faculty. We have become a caring and compassionate class, a tribute to our mentors.
Billy Graham, the renowned evangelist, once said, "God has given us two hands, one to receive with and the other to give with." We are not cisterns made for hoarding. We are channels made for sharing. As students, we have developed the use of one of our hands. We have received knowledge, instruction, and care from those around us. Though we will continue to use this receiving hand, we must now begin to use the giving hand. As we leave high school today, we are leaving well prepared and ready to give. But giving is costly. Modern cultural wisdom says, take what is yours. Have it your way. You deserve it. The truth is that he who plays for personal gain is losing in life. It is a strange paradox, isn't it? You give things away, time and energy. You don't become poorer. You become rich, complete, and more fulfilled. The individuals we most admire, those we will fondly remember, have been the unselfish givers. They have helped us grow spiritually and academically into the unique student body we have become. I challenge you, members of the class of 1999, to give of yourselves just as others have given to you. To the teachers, coaches, and administrators, thank you for giving. Thank you for being our guiding light. I leave you today with the Persian proverb, "What I tried to keep, I lost. What I spent, I had. But what I gave, I have." Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Krista Spellman and Michael Riley, Student Council President, for a special award.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is often said, and I quote, "Real leaders are ordinary people with extraordinary determination." Before us this evening is a gentleman exhibiting qualities of both extraordinary leadership and understanding. However, ordinary he is not. Throughout his 35 years here at Southern Regional, he has served us not only as a teacher, a coach, a supervisor, but also as an administrator. Students, staff, and administrators statewide have selected the recipient of the award we are presenting this evening. Due to invitations for student involvement, I am proud to announce that our school spirit and student participation is higher than it's been in many years. In spite of the large size of our district, the quality and distinction of its education remains uncompromised because of his direction. His caring and wholehearted dedication to the students and staff will forever be remembered.
As president of the class of 1999,
And as president of the entire student body, it is with great pleasure that we introduce to you the 1999 New Jersey State Administrator of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, our superintendent, Mr. Kenneth Arndt.
The class of 1999 would like to present to you, Mr. Arndt, this plaque made by the students. It reads, and this is written by Mr. Speck, one of the staff members. "You have stood in our midst for 35 years, and we are of one opinion. Indeed, here is a good man. As an inspired and inspiring teacher, we admired and modeled you. As a committed coach, we esteemed you. As a responsive administrator, we respected you. Yet, it is as an uncommon man of singular goodness that we will remember you." And it is signed by every student of the class of 1999. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for us.
That plaque was also, Mr. Arndt, incidentally made by the students in the graphics synergistics lab at the wood shop. It was a complete collaborative student effort, which I know you'll cherish. It is my pleasure to now introduce the officers of the class of 1999, Krista Spellman, Scott Romanowski, Michael Taylor, and Catherine Scholl.
We'd like to call up Mrs. Palillo and Mr. McCabe, our advisors. We'd like to present these presents to them to show them a little bit of our appreciation for everything that they have done this year. Words cannot describe how much these two people have meant to us this year. They have just gone beyond the call of duty, and we really appreciate everything that they've done. Thank you very much.
At this time, we would like to introduce to you our Edward J. Blaustein Distinguished Scholars. I'd like to ask you to hold your applause until I read all of the names and ask the graduates to stand and stay standing until I complete reading all of your names. Philip Bacalar, John Bobliss, Nicole Caldera, Michael Calvert, Melissa Dambrosky, Lisa Durr, Lauren Erickson, Erica Felton, Kevin Hoy, Ayana King, and Aaron Risden. Congratulations. I would also like to introduce to you the Southern Regional High School's Distinguished Scholars. Once again, please stand and stay standing until I read all the names. Amy Maureen Ackers, Nicole Ann Armstrong, Nicole Mary Caldera, Christine Erin Courtney, Lisa Marie Durr, Lauren Ann Erickson, Eric Carmine Fierro, Ayana T. King, Katie Jean Kupfer, Jessica Jean Leffler, Aaron David Levy, Philip Jeffrey Preston, Michelle Sophia Romoldi, Scott Kevin Romanowski, and Michael Sharkey Clancy Taylor.
We'd now like to introduce the top 20 of the class of 1999. Graduates, please stand when your name is called, and please hold all applause until every name is read. Amy Maureen Ackers, Nicole Ann Armstrong, John Richard Bobliss, Rebecca Lee Burrows, Nicole Mary Caldera, Christine Erin Courtney, Lisa Marie Durr, Lauren Ann Erickson, Erica Leah Felton, Eric Carmine Fierro, Ingrid Elizabeth Kazis, Anya T. King, Katie Jean Kupfer, Jessica Jean Leffler, Melissa Lou Leonetti, Aaron David Levy, Angela Catherine Newbern, Michelle Sophia Rimoldi, Aaron Richard Risden, Michael Sharkey Clancy Taylor. We would now like to recognize those students that have perfect attendance. For 12th grade, Robert A. Barone, Melissa Elwell, Candace M. Jones, Scott M. McHugh, Daniel J. Wilson, Daniel A. Plenge, Philip J. Preston. For 11th and 12th grade, John M. Rolick III. For 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, John R. Bobliss, Ronald A. Rosa. Congratulations.
Now I just have a few words for the class of 1999. Hello? Okay. Advisor, teacher, mother, confidant, counselor, bill collector, delivery girl, and friend. These are just a few of the roles I have been privileged to serve as for the class of 1999. And perhaps today, graduation day, is most significant because my role as your advisor has come to an end. But however, from today, my role as your friend can continue to grow. It was only 10 years ago when I stood on this field as a graduate and class officer of the class of 1989. I can still remember the sense of pride and accomplishment I felt as I stood in those bleachers wearing those caps and gowns and tassels, trying to find my family in the crowd. I never imagined ever that I would experience those feelings again. But here I stand 10 years later, and I must say I'm feeling overwhelmed. Your class has accomplished so much, and I'm so very proud of each and every one of you. I think the two qualities that set you apart from other classes are your cooperation and your commitment. As a class, you have not only demonstrated your commitment to academics, but also to each other. You have earned the respect of so many faculty members that I must confess, Mr. Henry, I've been late to a few of my classes this year because faculty members constantly stop me in the hall and have to tell me what a great class you are when they go to your events, how positive your attitude is, how much you appreciate and enjoy all of your activities. I realize I am lucky. Today, I simply want to say thank you for including me on your journey. I am so blessed to have had the opportunity to work with you. Your friendships have made my life richer. Working with you was a two-way street. We both learned from each other. Because of you, I am a better person, and the world is a better place. I tried to think of something inspirational to end my speech with, but then I remembered my graduation day, and I must confess, the speeches were much too long, and I was in much too much of a hurry. After all, today is about you, not me. So with that in mind, I'd like to conclude with my favorite quote in philosophy. Happiness is found along the way, not at the end of the road. Thanks for all the happiness you've given me. I will miss you, but let's live it up one last night at Project Graduation. It's official. You can officially call me Tracy, since some of you have been dying to do that for 3 years. You are now my friend, and I am Tracy to each and every one of you. Thank you.
First, to the parents, thank you on behalf of Ms. Pillow and myself. Thank you for what you have given us. It cannot be matched. Now, to the graduates. Seems like I've known you guys forever. Forever. But for most of you, it's been 7th grade. And still more of you, I met you when you came in 9th grade. That's when you entered the middle school and my life. We worked together in class on term papers. Many of you I worked with on stage and plays. And in the hall, we joked at my expense. In 9th grade, I went with you on your freshman picnic, the 8th picnic that I had been on since being at Southern. I just remember sitting there with Mr. Fleck and Mrs. Tremontana and talking about how special you were and how much we would miss you. Because when you went to sophomore year, you were in a high school. And we knew we wouldn't see much of you. Because, after all, we were in the middle school. However, 2 months into your sophomore year, we all suffered a loss that would change our lives. You lost a great teacher, and I lost a great friend. With Mr. Eckley's passing, I found myself back in your lives. I followed you over to the high school later that year. My first few weeks were like a blur. The only thing I remember clearly was your concern, your warmth, and your help. Many of you said how happy you were that I came over to the high school at that time. What I never told you is that you helped me through one of the most difficult times in my life. For that, I thank you. So it was only natural that when Miss Gove and Miss Palola came up to me and asked me to apply for the job of advisor to the class of 1999, I said absolutely not. I had just gotten married. I was doing 2 shows. I had new classes to teach. They understood completely. They told me, think about it. I did think about it. I thought about what had happened over the last year. And I decided that if anyone was going to mess up your last 2 years of high school, it might as well be me. Well, Miss Palillo made sure I didn't mess anything up. And you took me along for one of the greatest rides of my life. You took me to New York for New Year's Eve. You took me to Disney to perform It's a Small World. And you showed me a night of magic at your prom. You made me feel like I wasn't just your advisor, but a member of your class. So today you leave for greater glory. Know this, class of 99. You take a large piece of my heart with you. I'm proud to be associated with the greatness you brought to Southern Regional. For you, save the best for last wasn't a motto. It was a way to live. Good luck. Best wishes. Lots of love. I'll miss you much.
Ready now. Members of 1999, will you please rise? Mr. Arndt, it is my distinct honor to present to you the 1999 graduating class of Southern Regional High School. These students have met all the requirements of the New Jersey State Department of Education and the Southern Regional Board of Education and are eligible to receive their diplomas.
Class of 1999, please be seated. My distinct pleasure to first of all congratulate the members of the class of 1999 as they receive their diplomas tonight. This is a very special class. This is a class that I obviously will remember very much. Being in education is a very enjoyable and rewarding profession. But if you're in education and you're working with fine and wonderful students such as we have here at Southern Regional, it becomes even a greater profession and greater honor. Tonight, would like to also thank and congratulate the parents, the staff here at Southern Regional who has worked with this group of students to bring them where they are today. I have every confidence that this class, that the members of this class will make their mark in the world and will make this world the better place that we all wish it to be. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the President of the Board of Education, Mr. Robert Palmer.
Thank you very much, Ken. Those students' presentations were really wonderful. I wonder if you'll stick around. I'd like to find out who writes your material. Do you remember years ago when you were being told you must learn your ABCs? Well, you would not be standing here today if you did not learn them. And don't take those letters lightly, for they represent some powerful words, words that have brought you here this evening. A is for attitude. You had the can-do attitude, and if problems arose along the way, you adjusted to maintain that can-do attitude. You did not quit. B is for better.
You did not settle for the status quo, but always tried to do better and be a better person. And that is reflected with all the scholarships, the awards, the trophies, and all the other recognitions that have been bestowed upon such a great class. And C is for complete and continue. By obtaining your diplomas this evening is a testimony that you had learned your ABCs and much, much more. And you certainly will continue to practice those in the future. And one last letter I would like to leave you all with, and that is the letter T. And T is for time. It's an extremely busy and hectic world out there. You must try and always make time to help others with their ABCs. And it will create a world with a great attitude, a better place to live, and maybe not completely everything, but will continue to prosper. And on behalf of the Board of Education, we all say, very, very well done.
At this time, Mr. Robert Palmer, President of the Board of Education, will be joined by Mr. Christopher Taylor, Vice President of the Board of Education, to present the diplomas to the class of 1999. Will you please hold your applause until each member of the graduating class has received his or her diploma. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Vala and Saluda, as well as the senior leadership team, who will then take over the podium and announce the rest of the class. Valedictorian, Lisa Durr. Salutatorian, Lauren Erickson. President of the class, Krista Spellman. Vice President of the class, Scott Romanowski. Treasurer of the class, Katie Scholl. And Secretary, Michael Taylor. Watch it, Mike. The mic's on.
Annette Erin Morris. Erica Leah Felton.
Kristen Lynn Bohr.
Jennifer Lynn Baker.
Janine April Mink.
Jamie Genta.
Michelle Janine Gervasini.
Amanda Lynn Seitz.
Jody Honorato.
Aisha Faima McGriff.
Selena Ann Brower.
Marcy Ann Chapman.
Jill Ann Izzo.
Anna Marie Polishak.
Lacey May Tiger.
Jessica Marie Rivera.
Jessica Lynn Kinsler.
Kimberly Sue Denning.
Jessica Lynn Foley.
Deirdre Deering.
Sharon Eileen Helwig.
Serene Sue Butler.
Shayna Lee Grainberg.
Tina Marie Anderson.
Stacy Lee Ryan.
Tiffany Lynn Aiken.
Jennifer Lee Tarafenko.
Aubrey Ann Cifelli.
Crystal Lynn Hoover.
Jennifer Ann McCory.
Candace Marie Jones.
Jordan Maria Mignano.
Michelle Lee Finaro.
Dana Michelle Thomas.
Nora Elizabeth Cunningham.
Brianne Denise Iorio.
Tiffany Renee Ponton.
Marianne G. Mazhari.
Veronica Ann DeMio.
Jennifer Bagnano,
Gina Salcelli,
Christine Aki,
Angela Dolores Salcelli,
Kristen Lee Brewster,
Danielle Marie Gilberti,
Michelle Lynn Butler,
Angela Catherine Newbern,
Tracy Marie Carnes,
Kimberly Diane Rich,
Dana Marie Kamen,
Nicole Miners,
Leah Mimosas,
Jessica Collins,
Jennifer Ashley Fleur,
Phyllis Aiello,
Felicia Stephanie Zatonsky,
Lisa Marie Van Hook,
Michelle Suzanne Mariano,
Elizabeth Ann Rua,
Carrie Rose Spadafora,
Stephanie Ann Racio,
Nicole Mary Caldera,
Megan Christine Plant,
Maria Lynn Massa,
Donna Christine Barden,
Jamie Lynn Rudkowski,
Jennifer Lynn Troutline,
Rebecca Helena Lacey,
Jennifer Sue Taylor.
I got it. Should be cool.
Aaron Richard Risden,
Andrew Charles Chauvenac,
Marco Antonio Mendez Dominguez,
Miguel Alfredo Coelho,
Robert Arthur Baran,
Mike H. Goyen,
Jason David Culp,
Jason Michael Matuska,
Matthew John Bowles,
Robert J. Mancini,
Eric Kano,
Stanley James Markowski III,
Christopher Allen Persall,
Thomas Z. Lynch,
Ian Nicholas Glover,
Timothy Joseph Haygood,
Wesley Mayo,
Ryan Michael Pettit,
Aaron David Levy,
John Richard Bobliss,
Ralph James Constantino,
Daniel Howard Loftus,
Casey William Fulcher,
Jesse J. Mastro,
Joseph Andrew O'Sullivan,
Nicholas Ryan Apgar,
Michael Allen Doherty,
Ian Philip Luthringer,
Philip Sickinger,
Justin Thomas Fiore,
Chad Jason Robb,
Raymond Luis Torres,
Edward Rain Shaffrin,
Brian Britton,
Stephen Michael Rizzo,
Darren Allen Henson,
Wayne J. Kirtland,
Gary Robert Jones,
David Paul Schrader,
Jason Adam Zarnick,
Michael James Smith,
James Anthony Cecilia,
Eric Douglas Apgar,
Joseph Vigliotti,
William John Smith,
Jonathan Richard Kennett,
Nicholas Mazzina,
J. Edward Dingfeld,
Curtis Truex,
Matthew Thomas Kelly,
Stephen John Campoli,
Stephen Blake Woodland Jr.,
William Coons,
Michael Shane Curtis,
Joshua Allen Moore,
David Paul Smith,
Charles J. McShane,
Michael Kirk Stankowski,
Robert John Blackmore,
Richard Paul Raybender,
Patrick James Almond,
Mark Maglione,
Vincent Annapetti,
Christopher Maurice Lorenzo,
Daniel Jarrett Lynch,
Justin Allen Paschil,
Michael William Shaw,
Carl Mayo,
Daniel James Wilson,
Eric William Tortoriello,
Christopher Paul Summers,
Matthew Ryan Sohaki,
James Francis Sutter,
Christopher A. Jones,
Jonathan David Frank,
John Francis Santora,
Richard Michael Rizzo,
Brad Christopher Lindaberry.
Where'd you leave off? Am I here? I know. No, I'm fine.
Dominique Renee Perry,
Melissa Jean Dombrowski,
Meredith Robin King.
Brian Lee Tramontana.
Gina Marie Arneth.
Karen Michelle Lovis.
Shannon Elizabeth McKnight.
Crystal Jean Myers.
Lisa Marie White.
Michelle Lee Rassiopi.
Kristen Jane Schreckenstein.
Lauren Michelle Bracco.
Christine May Cathcart.
Sarah Marie With.
Cynthia Lee Keith.
Nicole Danielle DeRosa.
Allison Francis Kropanak.
Kelly Grace Thomas.
Crystal Lynn Martin.
Tara Ann Bennett.
Nicole McCumber.
Lauren Beth Spencer.
Jessica Marie Haynes.
Leah Ann Fitzpatrick.
Jenny Sue Beers.
Amanda Lynn Edley.
Colette Mary Carnes.
Christine Marie Hyatt.
Asia Marie Aceto.
Jamie Elizabeth Krokowski.
Melissa Ann Black.
Leanna Teresa Garrity.
Jennifer Ann Bastardi.
Pamela Michelle O'Connor.
Virginia Ann Kabelski.
Lisa Marie Soper.
Tracy Elizabeth Bretter.
Kristen Swarzinski.
Michelle Andrea Lindaberry.
Colleen Elizabeth Gardner.
Rebecca Lee Burrows.
Andrea Lee Butterick.
Megan D. Angers.
Leslie Diane Albanese.
Priscilla Ann Conklin.
Sarah Louise Colson.
Justina M. Flynn.
Geraldine Esther Archer.
Chloe Elizabeth Egan.
Lorraine Samara Foley.
Kimberly Jessica Stagg.
Donna Marie McNally.
Teresa Sun.
Anna Milicevic.
Haley Kim Decor.
Elizabeth Montoya.
Christine Erin Courtney.
Christine Suzanne Boyle.
Beatrice Claudia Strack.
Nicole Ann Armstrong.
Joanna Elizabeth Ryan.
Tiffany Marie Brownell.
Jessie Lee Mooney.
Helen Teresa Mecca.
Justine Jane Jaleski.
Heather Miller.
Christine Rem.
Melissa A. Lynch.
Marcia Ann Krabig.
Kimberly Michelle Lebrecq.
Jennifer Ann Hyatt.
Leah Marie Ostring.
Sandra Marie Giordano.
Jennifer Lynn Corbin.
Michael Perrin Riley.
Adam Carl Graham.
Michael Joas Carrillo.
Michael Anton Halavacek.
Theodore John Rasmussen.
Robert Keith Gunston.
Sean Garrett Pascal.
Joshua William Ames.
Millard F. Wyand.
David James Patty.
Frank Grisetta.
Jake Humphreys.
Todd Michael Raup.
Arthur John Hunt.
John Michael Rollick III.
Justin John Hoffman.
Scott Michael McHugh.
Dwayne Joseph Dodds.
Asa Noor.
John Joseph Finney.
Joseph E. Wilcox.
Michael Lacey.
James Charles Moran.
Brian Michael Dunn.
Kevin Vincent Sullivan.
Jonathan DeMeester.
Justin Richard Steele.
Jeremy Ronald Urbanik.
Steve Puccio.
Ryan Christopher Stewart.
Vaughn Joseph Michelson.
Christopher Alexander Schmidt.
Paul Kenneth Alashenko.
Scott Edward Kipple.
Robert James Klages.
Michael Samuel Fabuzzi.
Martin Awanowski.
Vincent Cecilia.
Peter Denning.
Robert Anthony Lencione.
James Robert Giberson.
Michael Gregory Calvert.
Daniel Alexander Flenge.
J. Joseph Heiza.
Michael Russo.
Michael Henry Klizub.
Ryan Michael Murray.
Michael Anthony Cancellari.
Andrew Stephen Coverdale.
John H. Debregard.
Nathaniel Hirsch.
Robert George Huber.
Michael Lewis.
Brian Gala,
Christopher Raymond Bone,
William John Guido,
Michael J. McCarthy,
Mark Andrew McCullum,
John Alfred Ninehouse,
Justin Russell Leary,
Brian James Gardner,
Brian McCarthy,
Joseph James Fink,
Attilio Anthony Bonacorso,
Brian Scott Cleary,
Stephen Thomas Barilla,
Brian Thomas Masick,
Brandon Jason Kelly,
Greg Raymond Muzinski,
Brian Patrick Hogan,
Thomas Bender,
Kevin Joseph Cheeseman,
Sean Patrick O'Neill,
Arthur Franklin Smith,
Bruce Miller,
John Michael Tanzini.
Deneen Bona,
Megan Lee Swire,
Melissa Lou Leonetti,
Lisa Ann Pettigrew,
Jessica Jean Leffler,
Heather Joan Carnegie,
Sarah Marie Thomas,
Victoria Lynn Trapanese,
Tiffany Genevieve Sprankle,
Susan Elizabeth Marr,
Christina Lynn Grant,
Janelle Joan Woolley,
Amy Catherine Diamore,
Margaret Ellen Stephen,
Tara Lynn Troiano,
Amanda Beth Minto,
Jennifer Bonnie Schultz,
Melissa Elwell,
Jessica Lee Coleman,
Tiffany Monique Hill,
Cindy Maria Picnic,
Amanda J. Parlagreco,
Megan Finch,
Melissa Danielle Eldridge,
Sarah Elizabeth Finch,
Laura Rose Flynn,
Kristen Lynn Smith,
Alexis Mary Graziosetta,
Jessica Ann Kernan,
Christina Linnell DiPolito,
Megan Marie Muniak,
Janie Marie Hartley,
Jennifer Elizabeth Gross,
Gina Marie Hemhauser,
Christine Ann Kennard,
Barbara Ann Regina Powers,
Cricket Lee Hansen,
Nicole Marie Walker,
Julia Ann Salone,
Dana Lorraine Fay,
Maria Pereira,
Carrie Ann Frisina,
Cara Suzanne Schiffel,
Alicia Marie Madunik,
Nicole Ann Maxim,
Jessica Lynn Hahn,
Kimberly Rose Banez,
Rachel Michelle Keene,
Kendra Jane King,
Rebecca Jean Higgins,
Patricia Lynn Firkin,
Melissa Ann Rogers,
April Lynn Terhune,
Jennifer Lynn Kaufholz,
Michelle Sophia Ramoldi,
Jennifer Joanne Jamie,
Katie Jean Kupfer,
Sarah Catherine Hazelton,
Ingrid Elizabeth Kazis,
Kristen Michelle Karpovich,
Amy Maureen Ackers,
Ayanna T. King,
Kelly Ann Corrigan,
Rebecca Lynn Hall,
Jenny May Abbott,
Tracy Lynn McKenzie,
Melinda Ann Foster,
Anna A. Tomzak.
Anthony Reese Kane,
Sean Paul Dion,
Eric Setzer,
Christopher Ryan Falvey,
Clifford Dobson,
Jared Thomas Summers,
Matthew Ryan Giberson,
Sean James Fenlon,
Steve Allen Crothers,
Clifton David Solberg,
Charles Donald Playa,
Brian Matthew Black,
Robert Joseph Scarola,
Brian Saunders,
Anthony Michael Rack,
Thomas John Lazuski,
Donald Anthony Preet,
Jeffrey Clifford Lewis,
Nicholas A. Bollinger,
Christopher Allen Sorelli,
Ryan Cobb,
Christopher Michael Smith,
Ian Roberts,
Kevin Edwin Kearney,
Dennis Philip Keller,
Ryan Stephen Butterick,
Bradley Keith King,
Max Alfred Emmer,
Justin A. Bragg,
James Howard Smith,
Philip Jeffrey Preston,
Jason Michael Wiener,
Keith Gerard Marr,
Greg Robert Miller,
Dennis Wallace McNally,
Brian Hubb,
Philip Benjamin Bacalar,
Joseph Anthony Zappavina,
Jason Robert Carlja,
Brandon Forrest Riso,
Jesse Peter Bilderback,
Noah Barger,
Derek Carl Lesko,
Ryan Douglas Carberry,
Daniel Frank Caputo,
John Philip Andre,
Bo Patrick Norton,
Richard Joseph Mazza,
Casey O'Brien,
William Pettit Dutton,
Sean Power,
Robert Edmund Faringo,
Derek Mayo,
Christopher Robles,
Thomas John Bergman,
Eric Carmine Fierro,
Brendan J.C. Boyle,
Christopher Roy Harris,
David Lee Sanchez,
Mark Andrew Subert,
Robert Lawrence Werner,
Douglas B. Shin,
Ronald Anthony Rosa,
Sean James Gilfetter,
Dennis K. Hennessy Jr.,
Kenneth Ray Flatt,
Timothy William Horn,
Thomas Michael Topoleski,
Joseph John Valenti,
Jared Michael Miller,
Anthony Charles Bessman,
Neil Adam McCallum,
Ryan John Perel,
John Aubrey Gomack,
Daniel Robert Lutkovich,
Kevin Thomas Hoy,
Gregory James Blackman,
Joel Adam Kirshner,
Thomas Michael Shaffrin,
Brian Michael Scully. We're done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right there. Should we go back now? Yeah.
Nice job, guys. Class of 1999, will you please stand? Graduates of the class of 1999, congratulations. Please move your tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand for the benediction? Gentlemen of the class of 1999, please remove your hats. At this time, Scott Romanowski, Vice President of the class of 1999, will deliver the benediction. Scott will attend Providence College and major in business law.
Mr. Arndt, Mr. Henry, Mr. Chrisbergs, members of the Board of Education, family, friends, and fellow graduates, good evening. As each of us set out in our own directions, we remain uncertain as to where we will go in life. Life, That word takes on a whole new meaning this week. Recently, my grandfather passed away. This is the first time that I've ever experienced such a loss. But today, I'd like to celebrate his life and speak of the impact that he has had on me. Whether it be through life lessons or leading by example, my grandfather has taught me about life. And because he taught my mother, and my mother taught me, I too will one day teach someone. Teaching is a chain reaction. Each link in the chain represents a lifetime of experiences and memories. In the book of John, verse 7, line 16, we read, "The things I teach are not my own, but they come from he who sent me." Today, I can understand that. And so, I ask that we promise to continue teaching and impacting the lives of tomorrow's graduates, so that one day they can take time to thank the teachers in their lives. Thank you, good luck, and God bless.
At this time, I need to ask the members of the audience that are gathered behind the lattice work to please vacate that area. We need that area cleared because that's where the graduates are going to exit all the way back to the goalpost. Thank you for your cooperation as you clear that area. Again, we need your cooperation at the lattice work. Please clear that area out for the graduates to leave. Seniors, on behalf of the entire Southern Regional school community, I congratulate you. To all of those present this evening who have made tonight possible, I offer my thanks and my congratulations. We are all extremely proud of you, and we will dearly miss you. Gentlemen of the class of 1999, please replace your hats.